May 2022 is upon us, and this is definitely another exciting month in Animal Crossing New Horizons, with lots of fun updates and changes for you to enjoy around the island. April was just full of different events, new seasonal items, and all kinds of things to collect and enjoy, and there's a lot of that here in May as well. There's also some exciting new content outside of the game that we'll want to check out too. So let's take a look at 5 updates and changes happening in Animal Crossing New Horizons this May. To start us off in May, we're going to take a look at the events. Now there are 2 significant events happening. The first is of course May Day, which will allow you to go on a special tour at Dodo Airlines so that you can meet up with Rover and take part in his little maze. I really enjoy this little event, and when you start up the game on May 1st, Tom Nook will let you know that you can take a free ride to go over there and play it, so it's definitely nice of him to inform people outright that you can enjoy this event from the start of the month. It doesn't last too long, so make sure you enjoy it before it does disappear. It's also one of the few opportunities you'll get to meet Rover in the game, unless of course you have his amiibo card and can invite him to either the Roost or Happy Home Paradise. The second major event, which starts on the 18th of May, happens to be International Museum Day, which will involve you meeting up with Blathers and taking part in a stamp rally at the museum so that you can learn more about the different exhibits and just appreciate the museum in general. This nice little event gives you some of the plaques which you can see above the exhibits in the museum, so it's really cool to get some of those more hidden items that usually are just on display. They also sell for pretty decent bells as well, thanks to an update last year, so it's definitely worth playing this event and just appreciating the museum, since honestly this museum is basically the best one in any Animal Crossing game, at least in my opinion. So definitely 2 worthwhile events to enjoy in May if you haven't played them already, and even if you have, they're still fun to revisit in my opinion, especially the May Day tour. For number 2, let's check out some of the new seasonal items which are coming in the month through the Nook Shopping tab. This includes items for Children's Day, which will last from April 28th to the 5th of May, so you should already be able to get these from this video going live. There are also items to celebrate Mother's Day, which happens from the 1st or the 31st. For some of you around the world, you may have already celebrated Mother's Day. For example, we did in the UK, but I guess this is more based on the American timing of things. So you have all month to get those Mother's Day items if you want them. I really love the carnations, they're super duper nice. It's just a shame that we can't actually write back to our mum in Animal Crossing. I really wish that was a thing, but sadly they've never let us do that. You can also get items for cheese rolling, which is an event here in the UK, and that runs from the 22nd to the 31st. I really love this cheese item, I think it's so cool. I'd actually never really heard about cheese rolling before Animal Crossing New Horizons, so it's really surprising what you can learn about your own country from a game. So make sure you do check in with this tab so you can get some of these items. They're always really nice to have, and of course once they're gone, you will have to wait for them to roll back around again, no pun intended with that cheese there, until the next year, unless of course you do time travel. In at number 3, let's take a look at some exciting seasonal changes. For those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, you have 2 very big and exciting changes happening this month. The first one is the mushroom season, which happens all month, and this will allow you to collect mushrooms and mushroom-themed DIY recipes. These are some of the absolute best items in the entire game. Even before the 2.0 update, they were incredible, and they still are. So you'll want to make sure you collect a lot of these mushroom items if you don't have them already. They're absolutely fantastic, and who knows, maybe some of your impatient friends over in the Northern Hemisphere who don't want to wait until later this year might want to grab some of those from you as well. So definitely go collect those mushrooms. You can even sell them for a pretty good price, so they just have a lot of really good features and functionalities. So definitely go out there and get those mushrooms. And then you have the maple leaf season from the 16th to the 25th. So this one is a little bit more fleeting. You don't get as much time to enjoy this one, but still it's a really nice time of the year. You get to see the leaves floating about just like you do with the cherry blossoms, and it's just really nice, and there's a lot of cool items to collect. So if you haven't played these already, or maybe you just want to collect more of these items in general, then I definitely recommend hopping on during these times so that you can take part in it. It's definitely a good time to be a Southern Hemisphere player, especially after we got so much with the cherry blossom stuff back in April. There is one thing to note for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere though, and that is that Young Spring Bamboo will end this month. So if you need to get more Young Spring Bamboo, you'll definitely want to make sure you do that before the month ends. The only good thing is that now, of course, you can take a ride with Cap'n and you can get these items out of season, which is really fantastic, but that does cost 1,000 Nook Miles per round trip, and of course you do then have to get lucky enough to be able to get the island you want. So it's definitely worth getting these items as they actually appear in the seasons, as it will be a lot harder to get them through Cap'n. For number 4, I did mention an exciting bit of new content outside of the game, and this is of course the new feature which Nintendo introduced a few months ago, which basically allows you to create your own custom icons for the Nintendo Switch, and this is of course connected with Animal Crossing New Horizons. It basically allows you to collect characters whose birthdays are that month and special new backgrounds as well related to the season, so you'll be able to get some villagers who have a birthday in May when the month rolls around. So that's definitely a really exciting update. I personally really love this new feature and I've been using it to make my own special icons, and I definitely think that if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you should try this out as well. It is much nicer than having the basic icons that they offer or just having your Mii. It's a really nice way to rep Animal Crossing New Horizons if you're a big fan of it and kind of show off with your friends. So yeah, definitely make sure you hop in at the start of May because there'll be a whole bunch of new villagers whose birthdays start throughout the month of May that you can now start to collect for a limited amount of time. And once these villagers are gone, they will be gone until next year. You can't time travel with this feature, it's updated manually by Nintendo, so you want to make sure you get them before they're gone. Finally, at number 5, we have to take a look at a classic update which happens every month, and this is new fish, bugs, and sea creatures for those in the Southern and Northern Hemisphere. So let's take a look at the new bugs arriving in May. For the Northern Hemisphere, we have the Great Purple Emperor, the Queen Alexandra's Birdwing, the Banded Dragonfly, the Pond Skater, Diving Beetle, Violin Beetle, Roselia Batsy Beetle, and the Scorpion. The bugs leaving in May are just the Mole Cricket, so not too much to worry about. For the Southern Hemisphere, the new bugs are the Damselfly, the Mole Cricket, the Tarantula, and then leaving in May for those in the Southern Hemisphere are the Monarch Butterfly, the Long Locust, the Migratory Locust, the Rice Grasshopper, the Cricket, the Mantis, Orchid Mantis, Violin Beetle, Walking Stick, and the Flea. So quite a lot of bugs are leaving then. For the new fish in May, for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we have the Frog, the Catfish, Nibblefish, Angelfish, Beta, Rainbow Fish, Giant Trevally, and the Mahi Mahi. Then the fish leaving in May for the Northern Hemisphere are the Loach, Golden Trout, and the Oarfish. For those in the Southern Hemisphere, we have the Bitterling, the Blowfish, the Tuna, the Blue Marlin, and the Football Fish. The fish leaving for those in the Southern Hemisphere are the Cherry Salmon, Char, Golden Trout, Midden Crab, Guppy, Neon Tetra, Seahorse, Zebra Turkeyfish, Barred Knifejaw, and the Ray. And finally, the sea creatures arriving in May for the Northern Hemisphere are the Gigas Giant Clam, Sea Urchin, Slate Pencil Urchin, Spotted Garden Eel, and the Vampire Squid, and the ones leaving are just the Dungeness Crab. For those in the Southern Hemisphere, we have the Dungeness Crab arriving, the Red King Crab, Sea Cucumber, Sea Pig, and Snow Crab, and the one leaving is the Gazami Crab. So that is all the new and leaving bugs, fish, and sea creatures for those in the Northern and Southern Hemisphere. Quite a lot to unpack there. But huge thanks to Game8.co for creating the infographics, it makes it a lot easier to digest. So I hope you enjoyed checking out these updates and changes throughout the month of May in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Definitely let me know what you're most excited for in the comment section down below, and I will join you for another video very soon. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more. If you made it to the end, then be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. I want to give a big thanks to these channel members for their continued support of me and what I do here on this channel. If you want to become a channel member, click the join button down below the video or the link in the description to learn more. You can get a whole bunch of cool perks like exclusive emojis, a badge by your name, access to our members only Discord, and our members only podcast too.